Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
And on this episode, we're going to go over going to events as a vegan, going to events as a vegan.
Why?
I don't know. I got to be weird at the beginning. I think you guys like it, right? Send us an email. Let us know if you like that shit. We've talked about having a vegan barbecue, going to restaurants. And mainly because, at least in the United States, things are opening up. We can start going places, especially if you're already vaccinated. So we kind of have this whole series going of doing stuff.
Making your summer the best it can be.
It's a hot vegan summer. What? And
I had a feeling you were going to say that. I could feel it.
What? You know me so well.
No, there's a lot of events happening now. Everybody, spent so much time not doing anything that there's kind of too much going on all at once a little bit. It can be a little bit overwhelming as we kind of venture back into, socializing with people.
Ew.
As a growing
People.
introvert. I thought for a while there I was partially extroverted, but I think I'm not anymore. I feel like I just don't want to be around people as much. But some of these events I think are going to pop up in the next, few months. So I think, sharing some tips to help us vegans get through some events that can be a little awkward, a little, I don't know, weird. People make a big deal about what you're eating.
Yeah.
I
know. I gotta go into the office on Thursday, and it's a lunch meet greet thing with some higher ups or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm either gonna have nothing to eat or I'm gonna have to explain things to people who have never seen me before, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I have to go back to the office soon too. And I don't think anybody really knows that I'm vegan there because there's a bunch of new people that I haven't met before. So we shall see. We have a whole episode. We're going to talk about being a vegan in an office of non-vegans because we have both experienced this hardcore, the good moments and the very shitty ones. So look for that upcoming episode because I feel like we have some tips for people.
For sure.
But today we're talking about different kinds of events and tips for each one. So let's start with weddings. There were a lot of weddings in 2020 that got postponed. So it's about to be some crazy back-to-back weddings for some people. And if you are vegan, maybe you've gone vegan during the pandemic or you always have been or whatever, weddings can be a pain in the butt.
And in general, they can be a pain in the butt.
I have had both good and bad experiences at weddings. I've had brides and grooms who gave a crap whether I had food to eat and some that didn't. So we'll talk about that. Have you been to a wedding as a vegan?
Not as a vegan, no. I don't get invited to a lot of weddings because I'm a sad, lonely person. No,
my God.
Not so much that. It's I guess my generation we don't really get married that much.
Yeah.
Too. I have friends who have been together for 10, 15 years, I think, at this point, and they get married. No, why would they? They have no reason to.
Right.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like my generation does much anymore. They're like me, and they're almost 40, and there's a little thing. If you know anybody, you know our email.
As we say in every episode.
Although the last wedding I went to was a Catholic wedding. It was like 10 years ago, but actually right before I went vegan, actually.
Oh goodness.
And it was a Catholic wedding, and I was raised in a Southern Baptist household, so I didn't really know much about Catholicism and how that went. So I was in a Catholic church, and I was like, I thought these are nice little stools you can put your feet up on when you're chilling.
Oh Oh shit.
I literally pulled this thing down, have my feet up, propped up, leaned back in the pew, just like, okay, this is pretty long. Got to stand up, sit down a bunch. This is weird. And everybody's looking at me. I'm like, what? And I didn't learn till later. That's where you put down to put your knees to pray. And like,
Yep.
oh, okay.
Not a footrest.
No, it was comfortable though. It was padded and everything. It was nice. Like, man, I should have been Catholic, man. This is stools and everything. Put your feet up.
Oh, southern people.
Totally could have fallen asleep in here more than I already was. No,
Oh
but
my
not as a
gosh.
vegan. No, I didn't. The person I went with was vegetarian, I think, though. So I went too
See,
bad.
that can be a little bit easier. So I've been vegan at 2 weddings, and I was the matron of honor in both of them. So the first one, hey Jessica, if you're listening, probably not. We don't really talk anymore. You know, whatever. Yeah, so knew I was vegan. Her caterers, I guess, were not accommodating. So they were like, we have something like a little side that we can make her on the day of, but maybe she should eat beforehand. So I did, brought my own little food. It was fine. But the side they gave me, David,
What was that?
it angers me to this day, and it's been like 5 years. It was like 6 mushrooms that had been basically like boiled and microwaved, and that's it. They put a little like olive oil on it, maybe sprinkled a salt and pepper, maybe that's it, and that's what I got. I love mushrooms. I want your fucking slimy boiled mushrooms. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? They didn't even, there's nothing inside it. They weren't stuffed. There was nothing. So I was very hungry that
I
night.
shaved my legs for this. This is ridiculous.
It was, I did all the wedding stuff for this.
Oh God, yeah, that's
So,
true. Holy shit. Yeah.
Yes, the amount of stuff that a matron of honor has to do, and this is what you feed me. Yeah, that was kind of the
Yeah,
start
that's-
of the end for our friendship, because I was like, wow, I should have been a bigger priority, but cool.
That's heavy-handed. Yeah. I think with the. Go ahead.
I think just letting people know first and foremost, like, when you're invited, you are asked what you want to eat usually, or you have a conversation beforehand with whoever's wedding it is. Like if it's a close friend, you'll have a conversation. You just say it. You have to let them know, I am vegan. This is how I eat. Is there any option for me? Like just start that conversation. You can't just tiptoe around it and hope and pray,
Yeah, definitely don't get the day of and go like, "Hi, just so you know, what you got." Like, don't play that game because weddings take a lot of planning and preparation and they're expensive. So just show up and walk over and go, "I'm vegan. What you got?" Like, this is an omelet bar. I don't know what we could do for you. I could throw some broccoli on a plate. And there you go. Whatever. So yeah, definitely ahead of time, especially you get the RSVP card that has check the chicken or fish box or whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll have special dietary need notes in there, but definitely either fill a card out in a way that lets the bride and groom or whoever's planning it know, or reach out and be like, hey, there's only a chicken and fish option, and no. Maybe,
Which does happen. I mean, some caterers just are not accommodating to like a one-off,
right?
Because you are kind of like the one person usually, maybe you're lucky there's a few of you, but that usually would cost a whole lot more to have like one random kind of meal made that's vegan. So there's not always an option, but a vegetarian one is, I would say more common nowadays. Sure. And you can make that vegan. You know what I mean? Like you can click vegetarian and say, can you take out, any dairy products and just make it vegan?
Yeah.
So I think even talking to the caterers too, like if you know who the caterers are, if the bride doesn't want to deal with that, you can always ask them. I mean, I'm sure they get calls asking like, is this so, like people do have dietary restrictions where they could die or get sick, right. They've got to have those questions come in once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you can find out who the caterers are, maybe so no, there's no options, or I've already said I want to deal with it. Maybe the person doesn't want to deal with it. Like, who's a caterer? I'll check and see if there's something we can do, or you may in some instances talk back to the cost. You could even offer to pay the difference if that's the case.
That's true.
You
That
know,
is very true. I
'cause
didn't think about
they may
that.
have like a 5 plate minimum requirement for a meal type or something. In which case you might have to pay a little extra to have them slide food your way. Which might be worth it because then you've had the food there, you have the experience, you're eating with everyone at the table, and you're doing the chicken dance game with everybody and whatnot. So the experience is part of it. So
I've been to 3 weddings. Excuse me.
no, you're good.
I brought food to a wedding once. I literally brought
I think you told me about
Tupperware.
this.
I did. I totally forgot about this wedding. I brought Tupperware and I had my own food. And yeah, people looked at me weird, but they said there would be vegan options, but everything that was vegan was also like touching other things, or I wasn't really sure and they couldn't really confirm what was vegan and what wasn't, but like the options that looked like they could possibly be mine. Like the hummus had like feta and stuff like all on it and around it. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, what are
We
you
can
doing?
dig around it. Like, no, you can't. You go fuck yourself.
Like watch me dig in your hummus. Like, this is so awkward. But I brought my own food and I was just like, I'm gonna sit in the corner and just eat my own food. That is an option. Sorry,
Bruh,
but
don't sit in the
if
corner.
you can't feed me, I'm gonna have to feed myself.
Don't sit in the corner. I would sit at the table and just eat it and just glare at everyone. Just be aggressive. Like, what do you want? Come on. You got a problem? Let's do this. I will stand in my fork.
A lot of weddings do have like a salad option, which is, always our go-to is we get a stinking salad. But, if it's the only thing you have, it's the only thing you have. But again, like we've say a million times in these episodes, eat beforehand. Seriously, like fill up before you go to this wedding and then you can just drink
Hell
and
yeah.
chill.
Drink
When in
and
doubt,
chill. There
drink
you go.
some more. But speaking of drinking, you need to check the wine and beer selections.
Mm-hmm.
Use Barnivore to make sure that they are vegan. You don't like get so drunky poo that you forget. Then you need to check.
Yeah, I mean,
there should be some kind of option for you.
Usually is. I mean, you can, I mean, again, ask the bartender. Bartender may actually know because, if a good bartender knows how wine is made, prepared, and they would know what wines do and don't use egg white or isinglass. I think it's isinglass or isinglass. So they a good, I found that a lot of really good bartenders just know. They're like, oh yeah, I know. Fish bladders or egg whites. This one here doesn't. It's actually vegan or organic. So most of them, a good bartender will know. But if they don't, like, okay, what do you have? Get a list, and you can look it up that way. Barnivore is my friend when I'm trying something new.
Or, you can always have just like a shot. Just be crazy. Just get drunk.
Or just have
says
have
the
a
girl
soda.
who barely drinks. I don't know what am I doing?
I know, like you're just like right. You're pushing to get drunk, pushing to get hammered. Thing a little too heavy. I think we need to have a little conversation.
Yes, because then you might start getting mouthy about the fact that there's no food for you. So maybe calm down on the alcohol.
I'm about to say you can kiss my ass. There's nothing. There's no tofu.
Would be so drunk if you fed me.
Just some beans and rice. That's all right. Be so good. I said, you know what? No, get off me. Get off me. No. Okay, it's just not hard. It's not hard. Why you stop? I'm just making this. I have a right as an American to have my opinion. Okay, sorry.
Dork.
That could have gone on for a while if I didn't catch myself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. One sad thing. You're not going to eat cake. Most likely, probably not going to have the cake. Just accept it.
Yeah.
Most likely, and you probably won't be able to find out what's in it either because the cake people are not still there. They drop the cake off, they haul ass usually.
I say you pull a complete power move, full power move. You go to a vegan bakery. You go to a vegan bakery and you order a smash cake for like kids that like and their first birthday. Check it out. You get a smash cake. Smash cakes are a full cake. They're small. It's full cake, and you just eat that motherfucker right in front of everybody. You just go, I have for the cake. And while they're doing the whole like cake ceremony, you eat the whole cake by yourself watching. But you just sit in the front row just eating the cake and watching. Go, yeah, eat your shitty cake. And you're just eating the whole cake. Just power move that shit.
We are giving the best tips tonight, you guys.
This is what we got. This is what we got. You're gonna. It's okay. Check it out. If you're a woman in this, you're gonna wear a white dress. Fuck 'em. You're gonna wear a white dress. You're bringing your food in Tupperware, eating it at the table, in a whole cake. Everyone, just that's a badass. Power move.
Or psychopaths.
Did you give a shit? Okay, anyway, sorry.
Thank you. Oh,
This is
God.
America. You're right to your opinion. Anyway.
Did these tips help? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think off the
We're
rails.
off the
I
wall.
apologize.
No, we definitely helped. Okay.
whatever you got to tell yourself.
I do have another story, and this is my favorite story. And I've been I don't think I've shared it yet. I've been waiting to share this story.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
Okay, so I have been in a wedding where my best friend Melissa, love you, girl. She gives a fuck, and she made sure that there were vegan options in every aspect. She got vegan pizza because it was a pizza kind of, little buffet thing with all kinds of options.
That sounds
She
more
got
so, yeah.
It was so good. She got mellow mushroom pizza. If you live where there's a mellow mushroom, you should try it. They have amazing pizza for vegans. And then she also had, non-vegan mellow mushroom pizza as well. So I am in line behind her dad. And her dad is a very Southern country dude, a little bit like David's dad. Super Southern, born and raised in Georgia. And he has 2 pieces of pizza on his plate, and he looks at me and he's like, oh, this pizza looks so good. It smells amazing. I was like, yeah. And I was like, and the 2 pieces you have are vegan. And he went, oh, and he just tipped his plate and let them slide off his plate back onto the tray and walked away. I was like, sir, like, they're not gonna hurt you. I was like, what is going on? But I told Melissa, she cracked up. He literally was like, oh my God, like offended. It was on his plate. He was like, ew, that's disgusting. Basically, it was one of the funniest things I've seen. Obviously not funny, but like funny because he was so offended. He was so very offended. How dare it?
How dare you?
It was pretty hysterical. And Melissa also had vegan cupcakes for her cake, option.
Yeah.
So I was able to eat the entire freaking time. And that, my folks, is called a good friend.
Word.
If your friends don't care about you being able to eat at this event, but they sure as fuck care about you going there and bringing a gift, they're not your friend.
Because food is friendship.
Yes.
and F is for friends who do things together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime, and always here in the Deep Blue Sea. Sorry. I can't. It's late. My brain's not working. It's not fine. It's fine.
I love it. This is going to be the most ridiculous episode.
It really is. It really is.
Oh my God.
Like, in that situation where people are like, oh my God, this looks so good, or this smells so good, and they have the vegan options, I just don't say shit. And I wait. They're like stuff in their face. I'm like, it's good, huh? They're like, yeah. And then I had the same thing and go, it's vegan, right? And their face is always like, okay, wait a second, what happened?
I didn't think he was going to lose his shit.
Yeah, no,
I truly
get that.
had no idea he was going to be like, ooh, and just the tipping of the plate was so freaking funny. Oh my God, I'll never forget it. Okay, let's move on to a different event.
Yes.
What about birthday parties? There are a bunch happening right now.
I have been to 2 already.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, little kid ones too. So that's 2 different situations, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously let the party people know, again, in every one of these situations, if possible, like let people know how you eat, just so they're aware, and give them the option to be accommodating to you. Like if you don't tell them, they can't make something for you. So like if I'm going to a birthday party, I wouldn't normally be like, hey, I'm vegan, like, oh, but like I should, because then they have that option to maybe make something for me or have something included that I can eat. And a lot of people would love to do that, but if you don't tell them, they can't. And you can always offer to bring a dish. Like everybody loves somebody to bring a dish. You just happen to bring a delicious vegan dish.
Yeah, it's again too. It depends on the party, because some of them it's like some of it's like a cookout. Some it's a not. It's more like a cake and ice cream kind of and snacks kind of thing. So it depends on what type of one you're going to. You know, you don't want to show up. You want to show up with like like veggie burgers, and it's like we're just doing chips and dip. Like what's this guy doing? So be aware of what's gonna be there, and ask like, oh, what's gonna be there? Should I bring something? What do you think? Because do like vegan things there. And, I always find it easier to say what's gonna be there. And then gives you an idea, like, oh, we're just doing like salsa and chips and some cheese dip. That's about it. Like, okay, well, salsa and chips. I'm good. I'm straight. Right?
Maybe I'll bring some guacamole to spice it up. So
yeah.
There you go.
And then offer, like, oh, that's cool. Can I bring anything? And then because even if like you don't want to go into it, like what's in this? What's in this? If you bring something, you got at least one option, right?
Yep.
So it's like, what's gonna be there? What are you making? What are you having? Okay, cool. Can I bring something? And then bring something. No, don't worry about it. Bring something.
Always bring something.
Always bring something. Even if it's a fruit bowl, it's something you can snack on.
I was just going to say fruit is a summer winner. So it's like a veggie tray, like any kind of salad. You can make a pasta salad that's vegan and they'll never freaking know.
Oh, yeah. I'm like right now I'm actually helping plan a retirement party for my assistant army instructor from high school. We're all of us RTC kids are getting together. We're going to have a big party for him. And me and a couple other people, we basically created this like planning committee amongst ourselves, and we planned food, and it's like nothing I can eat, and I was so far outnumbered. I'm like, screw it, whatever. One person in the group's vegetarian, so there's stuff for him. I'm like, that's fine. So I'm gonna bring fruit and a couple other little sides and stuff. But generally speaking, I'm gonna eat before I go. So
yeah, like some events, it's not worth like the ordeal of it. Like sometimes you could just eat before, bring your own little thing, and that just be the end of it. Like it doesn't always have to be like a conversation, but I like to at least mention it. One of my tips, if you're going to a kids party, bring a kid-friendly vegan dessert like cookies or something like that. Yeah. They're gonna love you. You're bringing sweets. That's a score right there. And then they're vegan, and people were more likely to try a vegan dessert than like a regular vegan dish. I feel like they're like, oh, it's sweet. I could maybe try that. I could see it. Yeah. And they're usually shocked at how delicious it is.
Yeah. I brought kale salad. Oh, that guy again.
Who invited the vegan?
You bitch. Yes. Who invited the vegan? I brought hummus. Who invited the herbivore?
Again?
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, desserts are a good option because, again, everyone just, because cookies are cookies, man.
Yeah.
And if it was like, ooh, vegan cookies, you just go like, Oreos are vegan. And then you just shoot that trump card out and they go, oh, okay. And they don't care.
And if it's adult party, you can bring like a side dish and at the same time, bring wine, beer, something. Because again, you don't know what kind of alcohol is going to be there. You might as well bring your own. So you have your own stuff to drink that is vegan. I keep talking about liquor. I don't know what's going on with me. This is very weird.
It's only Tuesday. It's been a week for you, hasn't it?
No, I'm fine.
Talk about both birthday parties and weddings, depending on how far deep in the evening you are. If you drink coffee, coffee's a good option because coffee is actually an appetite suppressant. So if you're like there's nothing there to eat, you're getting a little hungry, have a cup of coffee. Maybe take a trip to the coffee shop or Starbucks on the road, grab you a cup, and it's and even if it's me, like when I'm like I'm a little hungry, but I've already eaten like breakfast and lunch and snacked on candy today. I probably shouldn't. I'll have a cup of coffee just to kind of just suppresses appetite. I'm not like overeating.
Right.
So yeah, that's usually my go-to if I'm hungry and there's nothing I can have. I just throw liquids down my throat, and coffee being an appetite suppressant is my go-to. It works. It works really, really well.
Yeah, it does. And you could just like ride the roller coaster, drink alcohol to begin with, and then drink the coffee at the end.
Is it like Zambuca that's like a coffee alcohol?
Yes, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. You just go crazy, man. You got an upper and a downer. What do you do?
Make this party fun.
That's right. The party started, dude. This is a 1-year-old's birthday party. We gonna get crazy. All right, this is not acceptable.
Speaking of fun parties, let's talk about a pool party. So a lot of these same tips fit for a pool party, but like bring a cool cocktail. I want my summer to be like about like more mocktails again, because I'm not the biggest drinker, even though I sound like one
I know
today.
you are gonna get smashed this weekend after you.
Rosie is great about making really good mocktails. So I want to kind of work on making some like tasty little like mocktails or actual liquor infused. I don't know. But people love when you bring like all the little ingredients for a cool drink. So summer drinks, there's all kinds of options out there. Appetizers, finger foods, little things you can pick up. What?
Mocktails. Woo! Sorry.
Listen, guys, maybe I should fire him.
I'm sorry. I'm useless on this episode, but I just think mocktails. Woo! No,
my gosh.
We even remember the was it the sherbet in like fruit punch or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that would be good.
And sherbet, I mean, sherbet is usually vegan. It's just essentially fruit juices and frozen fruit blended together for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some sherbets that are not, but yeah, like doing that with like some sort of like, I think it was always like Sprite or some sort of like lemon lime kind of soda with like punch and sherbet, and it was really good. And
it was like Sprite and ginger ale or some shit like that, or
put sherbet in it. So that was I can't remember what that was called, but that was like my favorite like kid drinks, and it tasted like fancy, like you were having some sort of crazy.
And it looked cool seeing the sherbet like melt in the drink. Look at the memories you're bringing back.
That, stuff like that, yeah.
Love it.
There's all kinds of especially now with like finger foods, especially pool parties and pool parties are not the same thing.
Wow.
That is some rated mature situations happening.
I just got the EBGBs.
Right? And but no, because there's so many options now. You have like with the cream cheese and cucumber sandwiches, but of course there's vegan cream cheese now. So there's so many options when it comes to like summer foods and little snack foods for pool parties.
Little Sammys.
Yeah, you can do bruschetta.
Like a big ass fruit salad. I remember when my grandmother would use that little melon ball, and she would melon ball all the fruit, and I'm like, good Lord, just cut it, lady. And it doesn't need to be in tiny little balls.
But then there's like honeydew in it, and honeydew is trash.
Honeydew is delicious.
Honeydew tastes like the rind of the watermelon. That's all it ever tastes like.
It's delicious.
Honeydew doesn't exist. All honeydew is a company takes all the watermelon rinds and mushes them together and puts it into a big ball and then convinces you it's delicious, because honeydew is trash.
No, grapefruit is trash.
That's also a fact.
My gosh. So I, in a few weeks, am going to a Braves game, I think. So let's talk about sporting events. Our company has season tickets to the Braves.
Fancy.
So fancy. My favorite thing about these tickets, I found out they're on the aisle, so I don't have to make anyone get up every time I go to leave. That's a good little perk. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
So sporting events. People are going to them more and more now that we're vaccinated and they're open and you can actually join and root on your team. So this can be kind of interesting. There are a growing number of options, but it's still very limited in most sports arenas. So researching beforehand is major, like essential. And I don't mean just what is available, but where in the stadium that is located, because you could freaking wander around forever trying to find something to eat and make it a way harder on yourself than it needs to be.
Yeah, the surprising thing was that there's if you're going to like mainly a baseball game, because I know they're there in most all baseball games, but knowing like the kind of the accidental vegan stuff is good. There's always like your peanuts, roasted peanuts, bagged peanuts, and Cracker Jacks, caramelized popcorn Cracker Jacks, super tasty, vegan. It's vegan. I went to a Braves game, and that's especially what I ate was Cracker Jacks and peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Are the pretzels sometimes vegan?
Yes, they are, but I think they are.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretzels is a good option. I'm thinking of things that usually are. So on Cracker Jacks, your peanuts, your pretzels. Most places now have a vegan hot dog and a hamburger option, a veggie burger
Hmm.
option.
Even if it's like a black bean burger or something,
Yeah,
but just make sure there's no egg in it. But
right. If
for
it's
the
a
most part,
if they're using the possible or Beyond Burger, you're fine. You need to check the bun, because sometimes the
yep.
bun will get you with the egg with egg wash on it. If it's not the pre-made go-tos like the Beyond or the Impossible, yeah, definitely ask: is there egg, or is there is there dairy in the burger? Because sometimes they'll use those as binders. But if you use it, most parks, even like most sporting events, has your peanuts, Cracker Jacks, um, pretzels, and usually some sort of veggie dog.
Hmm.
I think Braves games had a veggie dog for years.
I feel like the Braves now have like not quite a few, but I would say like at least 3 or 4 different options in the stadium.
Yeah,
I feel like I heard they have an ice cream option, and I'm like real stoked about
yeah,
that because
yeah. They
I'm
do
gonna
now.
have to look. Yeah. So you can ask your local vegan groups. So remember, we tell you this all the time. We are members of the Atlanta Vegan Atlanta Facebook group, and that is a perfect place to ask about your local sporting arena. Like, what can I eat that's vegan there? And if you can't find a post that's already been, posted for everybody to reply to, ask yourself, because there's somebody that absolutely has some kind of tip for you. So, tap into your local resources, find out what options you may not be able to Google.
Yeah, and obviously reach out to the stadiums themselves. Some stadiums may actually let you bring in outside food.
Ooh,
The I know that the Brave Stadium is one of those places. You can bring in outside. You can bring in food.
I did not know that.
Yeah. This apparently that stemmed from a woman she was diabetic, and
Ooh.
she needed to bring in. She wanted to bring in food for herself, and she also had another dietary need. No, no, I'm sorry. She was hypoglycemic and gluten free or something like that. So she wanted
Mm.
to bring food in. They wouldn't let her bring it in, and they made her leave it out, leave it in her car, throw it away, and she having like passing out and having like a seizure. And from that point on, they were like, okay, you know what? We're just not gonna deal with this.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah,
bring
yeah,
in some
yeah.
sandwiches? That's fine, but they have to be. You have to have them in, like, in clear bags, and they have to be able to look at them to make sure you're not
Right.
snuggling like a gun in your sandwich or something.
Or a
Um,
bag of crack in the middle of your ham.
right, exactly. So
Gross.
they had to be able to check it, but you got to bring food in. Like, I went not this past time because it was a company based one, but when last time I went to a Braves game, I went and got sandwiches. I took like Subway or something with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and there was no problems. They're like, cool, go ahead. Like, yeah,
Oh,
thanks. So
I'm
you
gonna
can
have to
bring
look
food
into
with
that.
you into a lot of sporting events, and then mostly it's just to avoid dietary issues causing lawsuits from you getting sick and not having enough food to eat.
Right,
They much
exactly.
rather lose $1 than lose millions because because you're gluten free. You have an option, so your blood sugar dropped. You passed out, hit your head, and had a seizure, and now you own the stadium. They don't want that
Yeah.
happening.
The whole world knows.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, call ahead. I mean, yeah, but stadiums are really good. They know what vendors they have. They also have even and most sporting stadiums have like a guest services, and
Yes.
they'll have information regarding allergies. Because if you have like a peanut allergy or soy allergy, you need to know where you can go, and you can't walk around for 3 hours trying to find a place. So
Right.
guest
That's the
serv-
part I'm like,
yeah,
research beforehand.
yeah, if you don't chance to research beforehand, you're not getting answers beforehand. As soon as you get to the stadium you're going to, find guest services and say, I have a dietary need. Where can I eat? And they'll know. And that's like their
Right.
job is to know like where to send you and where to go for things. If they don't know, they'll know somebody who does.
Right. That's a great tip. And I think the same can be said for like any kind of festival. So whether you're going to like a music festival or an arts and crafts festival, which I go to frequently, there's even like book festivals like the Decatur Book Festival. There is usually something you can eat at those kinds of festivals because there's food trucks everywhere,
Yeah.
right? And even here in Georgia, there's usually an option, and I'm going to call them out and give them a little shout out. They're called Island Noodles, and they have been at every single art festival I've been to, and they have a vegan option, where it's just like noodles with um, uh, what do you call it? Vegetables and like a teriyaki sauce, and it is so freaking good. Delicious. The other option has like chicken, and they keep them separate, and they're in different woks. They use different utensils. It is
Nice.
amazing. I actually was standing in line, and the people in front of me were like, oh, why do they have a vegan option? That's so dumb. Who would want that? What a waste. And I was like, oh, here's one of those moments in life. And I was like, actually, it's delicious. I'm ordering it myself. You should try it sometime. And they were like, ooh. And it just felt so awkward and weird, and they had to wait for their food, and I got mine really quick, and I was out, and I was just like, hey,
enjoy the wait, bitch.
Oh man, that was one of those beautiful times in life.
Nice.
But yeah, there's usually an option. Look for like a noodle hut. They might have something for you.
I think festivals are the hardest because it's kind of hard to like call ahead or go to like a place and go, where can I go? You're definitely gonna have to look around. So prepare to ask a lot of questions of like, what's in that? What's this? What's this? I haven't, I'm vegan. Can I have, is there chicken in that? Is there whatever broth in that? Whatever. Again, usually if you can, anything that's like fruit cups, usually frozen fruits like the lemon. I think it's like the frozen lemon cups. You see it at festivals. Those are vegan because it's just lemonade that's frozen. It's frozen sugar and lemon flavor. That's all it is. And peanuts and that sort of stuff. So if festivals are going to be a little harder, but if you know where to look, with the questions to ask, should be fine. And the good thing now is that veganism being as prevalent as it is. If you ask, I'm vegan, do you have any options? Most people who are running some sort of food booth will know what you can have and know what you mean.
Right.
I find it. I think when I first started vegan, if I asked that question, they'd go, "What's that?" Now they just know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, you don't need animal parts or eggs and cheese and stuff. I go, right.
But most festivals, if you look at their website, will list the vendors. So you can actually see the food trucks that are going to be there for the most part. I can't say every festival, but for the most part, they'll at least list those food trucks, and you can, investigate. Maybe you can find something just so you're not, again, wandering around trying to find things. I keep feeling like I don't want people to have to waste so much time.
Yeah.
And you might have to try like a cuisine that you're not normally used to or isn't your preferred option. Like, you might have to, again, if you're not, normally someone that would go for, teriyaki noodles with vegetables, you'd prefer a burger, but there isn't an option, just be flexible.
Guess what?
Because as vegans, we should be thankful there is freaking food there.
Yeah. I think the thing about it too, with like music festivals, prepare not to have food.
Yeah.
Prepare for it. It's not gonna have it. I have tickets to go see Slipknot in October, and I'm like I'm just gonna eat a bunch beforehand and a bunch after because I have nothing. I've been to the venue I'm going, and no. I think I got something one time. It was like fries. I think they had like a thing that had fries. I got like a thing of. I thought like
there's usually fries. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like fries. I had water. That's all I could have. And that was it. And I mean, beforehand, I'm like literally in the parking lot eating like protein bars, and we left. I had a giant pizza. I was starving because I get in the mosh pits. I'm a metalhead. I'm sure I've talked about that more than once on the show. So I'm gonna use a lot of energy while I'm there. So I'm already warning my brothers who I'm taking with me. I'm like, you guys better get ready to go eat afterwards because I'm gonna get gross trying to replenish all the calories I'm gonna burn, throwing people around. Yeah, but music festivals, be prepared to have little to no option. Eat beforehand, prepare to eat after. Yeah, I wouldn't count on music festivals. That's the only festival I've ever been to where there's almost no hope for you. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah, there's very minimal options there. When it comes to music festivals, they don't normally let you bring food in, obviously, so that is not an option. So, like you said, you just can eat beforehand. I mean, you can probably sneak some shit in. I don't know.
I'll tell you this. This is I usually sneak 2 bars in to festivals.
Well, I could probably just put them in my bra.
Yes. See, but I don't have that option. So you know what I do, and this may sound gross, but to me it's not. This is what I have to do. I put them in my shoes.
Ew, but they are covered.
They're in a package.
To make?
They're in a package.
And you take them out pretty quickly, I'm sure.
Yeah. Basically, I'll take bars. I'll put them like inside my shoe, like down, like there's the bar I get smushed. I get a bar. I don't get like a chocolate covered like vegan protein bar. I get like I got a Cliff Bar. It's basically oatmeal. And I put that in my shoe. Even if they check top of my shoe, it's not gonna find it. And I get in, I go to the bathroom and pull my shoes off and take it out, put it in my pocket, and I have something to snack on while I'm there. That's how I sneak food in music festivals. I put them in my shoe.
Always a possibility.
It
Put them
works.
in your bra, ladies.
Yeah.
We could store all kinds of stuff in our bras. It's amazing. Yeah, it's a perk. If you see an option that's vegetarian, there might be a way to alter it.
Yeah.
So if they have like a panini, just like say no cheese, of course, check the bread, but like no cheese and just like a bunch of veggies. Is that possible? So I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Again, probably not an option at a music festival, but like at an art festival, if there's a bunch of food trucks but you don't see anything that's like fully vegan, you might be able to get them to slightly alter a vegetarian dish.
You could even like look at. I mean, I know with vegan wells got like you have to go for the sides, but look at what sides places have.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can even kind of like go around to different like booths or food trucks and like make your own little meal doing different sides.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Right? Just maybe they have like a vegan mac and cheese. Well, cool, but they don't have anything else. Awesome. And they're like, oh, okay, you have French fries and you have like nachos. Okay, well, give me nachos with no cheese. We'll go ahead and put like the onions and the bell peppers, jalapenos. You can have this little mishmash of like eating around the world kind of a feel of like altered sides and stuff.
I love this idea. What a great idea. Yeah.
I actually went to, this is years and years and years ago, I went to like some like Wild Wings type place. It wasn't that, it was like some place like that. And they had no options. And I ordered like the grande massive table size nachos with no cheese. And they're like no cheese, like no cheese, and it was all, and they still like baked it, so it made like the veggies hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, basically it was like bell pepper and onion and
yummy.
It was a bunch of, I can't remember all, especially it was loaded, so it was like everything they had in it, right? There's no cheese on it, so it wasn't like my favorite, but it was good. It was corn chips and different vegetables and stuff, so it filled me up, and I was perfectly fine.
Right.
But you'd be surprised what you can alter and it turned actually being pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. Some other like, I don't know, like overall tips, like for any kind of event you might be at. Obviously, we've talked about bringing a snack, bringing something that you could eat with you. Have a little insulated bag in your car to keep your stuff warm or cold or whatever you want it to be. Just be prepared to feed yourself. It's really no one's obligation to take care of you, but maybe they would be nice enough. But, make sure you can feed yourself beforehand, during, make plans to eat after, whatever you need to do. But don't try to power through.
If it's an event,
don't want to faint.
No, God, no, not at all. But if it's I'll check beforehand to see if it's the type of event you can leave and come back to.
Ooh, yeah.
Some festivals, some music festivals, once you're in the gate, you're in the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's an event you can leave and come back to, have something in the car, have a little picnic at the car or something. Definitely, I like the idea of having like a little like bag in the car of options. Maybe you can get some music festivals you can leave and like get a stamp and you come back.
Yeah. You can do that with like Six Flags. You can like leave and have your little stamp and go eat out in your car. I guess that's another event we didn't talk about either, but yeah.
I've done that before. I think it was actually Six Flags we've done before. And we just didn't want to eat there because it's expensive and it's not good. That's what we did. We actually left.
Stupid expensive.
We got a stamp and we went out and ate and we came back. This was like 15, 16 years ago, I think I did this. But, I think about Six Flags. Forever.
You need to go again.
Yeah.
So always double check ingredients. If your friends say that they made something vegan, it's not rude to just ask what was included, just to clarify, because sometimes people forget. I think I've told the story before, but I think it was Melissa made some kind of cute little dessert for me, and she didn't realize till she brought it to my house that she had used regular butter, and she was crushed. She was so heartbroken. But if I hadn't asked, then I would have ate it and been sick. So just ask, double check, just casually, what's in this again? Simple.
if you ask and you can't have it, don't. It's like ask but don't complain.
Right.
Because if you complain, then then no one wants to be accommodating. But if you're kind of nice about it, like if someone adjusting for you next time because you're so polite, nice about it, and understanding, then they'll be those people tend to act in kind. So if you're kind about something that's a mistake or something that wasn't thought of, usually they'll return in kindness and ensure that you're taken care of next time.
That's true. My final and last tip: surround yourself with people that care about making sure you have something to eat. I have cultivated my friends to where no matter who I'm with, they give a crap that there is something for me to eat. When I first went vegan, I had quite a few other friends who were not accommodating, who did not give a crap, never made anything for me, wouldn't come to any vegan restaurants with me, never asked me if they could make something special, didn't even freaking try. They're not my friends anymore. Surround yourself with people that give a fuck, because your health, it's truly I am hypoglycemic. I will pass out on you if I don't get food in me. If my friends don't care that I am taken care of, they're not my friends.
Fair enough.
Simple as that. Yes. Do you have any events coming up that you're excited to go to?
Right now, just a Slipknot show. That's not until October. I might find another show to go to. But nothing. Oh, yeah. I think it's in August 23rd. I think it is the. I was an RTC in high school. And as I said, we're setting my assistant Army instructor, Staff Sergeant Reed, is retiring. So we're doing like a retirement party for him. So that I'm looking forward to.
Happy retirement, sir.
That's
how you say that?
You don't call a NCO sir. He's a sergeant.
Oh, sergeant. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, you call him sir. He gets very upset. Because he's not a sir. He works for a living, as he would say. Sergeant.
That's cute. That's really cute. I like that.
Sergeant, yeah.
Don't teach my husband that. He'll start saying it. He
I'm
totally
would.
would.
Work for a living. Yes, Sergeant.
Oh my
yes, Sergeant.
gosh.
Sorry, Sergeant.
Let's see. What events am I looking forward to? There is a massive antique festival that I'm going to, not this weekend, but next weekend. I don't think they even have food there. I don't even think that's like a thing. So I'm definitely eating beforehand and after. But
yeah.
Besides that, if any of you live in Nashville, Tennessee, you might get to see David and I at the Nashville Veg Fest in October. We are planning on a little Friends trip up there to visit and see what your Veg Fest is all about. We were just deprived of the Atlanta Veg Fest last year, so now I just want to go to all of them that I can and eat all of the foods.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
dude, we should go to Asheville as well. That's another good one.
Let's do that one.
Yeah.
But we're planning a little Friends trip with a few of our friends that are super vegan friendly and are very excited to go to a Veg Fest. Again, surround yourself with people that care. We have good friends.
That we
so
do.
If you're in Nashville and
Love
you're going to be at the Veg Fest, let us know because we want to see you.
Hell yeah.
That'd be fun.
But hey, y'all, those cool people who are on the podcast. Like, yeah, we are. What's up? Don't be scared. Just come say hi. We don't bite. We're super nice. I'll sign autographs.
Oh, maybe we could get shirts made before then and wear them.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's do that. So
we have a store.
We do have a store, which we never plug.
No, I need to add more stuff to it for that.
We have some sayings we could make some new merch with, we'll have to work on that.
We'll figure it out.
But speaking of, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, and anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review. Pretty please. I'm begging. Recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, strangers, the delivery driver. Of course, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Average Vegans, or email us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. Show notes, links, all that stuff can be found on our website, theaveragevegans.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know your episode ideas, what events you're going to, any tips you have for those kinds of things. just message us. We want to talk to you guys. How pathetic does that sound? And for that was this week, and that's it.
All right. Well, until next time, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.